Every filmmaker retelling this story has put their own stamp on it. What additions have you made to personalise this version?
At the beginning of the movie, we subtly introduce all the people who are going to help her get to that ball in the end, all the animals. But chiefly, we get a chance to see that her mum and dad love her, that it's a happy house, and we get to see what her mum leaves her with when she passes on this message about having courage and being kind. Those kinds of things were what you might call the human and kind of logical elements. Who is she? What made her character? And what is she? How does she relate to other people?
Like me, hundreds of children dream of dressing up or becoming a princess. How did actually doing that compare with your imagination?
I feel quite moved when you said that. It was magical, and you know, I'd always dreamed of it when I was a little kid, and I had all the different outfits, and I had little plastic glass slippers, and then when I got to do it, now that I'm sort of grown up, it was just wonderful. And that blue gown, it's amazing, isn't it?
What attracted you to take the role of Prince Charming?
I loved the story, and I loved the script, and the prince was such a fleshed out character. He's not in the original animation. In this version he is. You get to really get to know him as a son and as a soldier and as a friend and as a prince to Cinderella, of course, in the end.
I'm really happy Prince Charming and Cinderella met the way they did. What effect did this have on their relationship?
I think it's a huge change, and it affects their relationship entirely, because now instead of the sort of damsel in distress falling in love with the prince, it's like they meet and they have no idea who each other are, and they just connect as two human beings do.
Miss, what do they call you?
Never mind what they call me.
I'm sorry.
It's not your doing.
Nor yours either, I'll bet. I hope to see you again, miss.
And are you?
The animals were so adorable and lifelike, even though they were CGI. How much easier was it compared to working with real animals?
Real animals don't always behave, so sometimes that can be a bit tricky. Every time I went out into the yard and there was all the geese and the duck, they'd have to sort of pen them in, and then they'd let them out, and they'd run in all different directions.
How do you think live-action remakes compare or build on the legacy of popular original animations?
I think they breathe a whole new life into it. I mean, like with this version, we've got Kate Blanchett playing the stepmother, and then in the animation, she's just a kind of baddie, and we don't really know why she's a baddie. Whereas now with live action, a film like this, we get to go in a bit deeper and find out why she is the way she is and what happened to her in her life to make her that way.
So you made the story really fun. Did you ever consider making it more like the original Grimm fairy tales?
Well, it's a good question. I think we looked at as many different versions as we could when we were preparing this. And as you probably are aware, in Grimm's fairy tales, it's really quite dark, including a moment at the end where one of the stepsisters cuts off her toes in order to be able to fit her into the shoe, which would be pretty nasty, wouldn't it? So I thought, you know what, I probably don't want to. I don't want to film that scene. I don't actually want to see what happens when a toe comes off. And although it's a good way of illustrating how desperate these stepsisters are to fit that shoe, we felt as though we could do it just as well with our stepsisters, Holiday Granger and Sophie McShear, who are very funny.
Dirty Ella. Cinderella. That's what we'll call you.
Oh, girls, you're too clever.